If you're not following us on these platforms, please do. We bring you snippets of all of the conversations we have here on the channel, and every other thing that is important to you, we bring that to you. And so please actively go on our socials and enjoy all that we have for you. Our website is www.abcnewsgh.com, www.abcnewsgh.com. This morning on ABC in the Morning, we'll take a look at what is happening in Nigeria. A very worrying situation, terror attacks happening, the killings, the death, too much. And you know that whatever happens in Nigeria affects us in the sub-region. You can't take it away from us at all. Those of us in the ECOWAS sub-region, and especially for those of us in Ghana, it's for nothing. It's not for nothing that we say that Nigeria is our brother, or Nigerians are our brothers. We find consolation in each other. We share very mutual characteristics and all. We love each other. And so if something is happening in Nigeria, we ought to be worried. I'm sure you have a friend, you have a loved one, you have a family member who is in Nigeria at the moment. The instability there is one that is worrying for anyone in the sub-region. And so we'll look at conversations about that, what ECOWAS should be doing at this moment to ensure that there's peace and stability in Nigeria. I've been reading some comments on X especially, and it's disheartening. On my feed, I've got some Nigerian feed there. I read their tweets, I read their retweets and all, and people are worried, people are scared. What can we as a sub-region do? Because we say we are sovereign, we should be able to handle our matters within, not needing any outside influence. And so what can we do? We know that the US President Donald Trump has sent a stern warning that he would intervene in the matter. But do we want that? Really? Do we want that? Will that be the best option? Can't we handle it ourselves? We'll look at conversations like that on Front Story today. This morning on our main discussion, we have a one-on-one, a sit-down with the ranking member on the Economic and Development Committee in Parliament, who doubles as the MP for the good people of Ofansea Irebi, the Honourable Kojo Oponkroma. He will join us this morning for some conversations. We'll look at the budget that has been read. Yesterday, he took to the floor of Parliament and made some arguments during the debate on the budget. He's advised the majority on some things that they should be doing, some things they should do so that the economy is not plunged into a ditch by one very devastating shock. And so we'll talk to him and understand where he's coming from with regards to his argument, his debate. We'll also bring you the latest in the world of sports. We will bring you Community Watch, like we told you last week. We are rolling out some new programs on ABC in the Morning, and today we will bring you Community Watch, where we throw the spotlight on one community, see what is the matter in that community so that we can bring it to the notice of duty bearers. It's why when it's time for Ghana Speaks, you call us and you share your thoughts with us. We don't only want your thoughts on the conversations we have or the discussions we have. We also want you to tell us what is happening in your community. Are you from the Dadekotopon constituency? What is the most pressing need in the constituency that you believe that has not been paid much attention to? We'll come to your constituency and we'll bring it to the light of everybody, both the average Ghanaians and the duty bearers. Maybe you are from the Krowo municipality. You call us and you tell us what's happening. You are outside of Accra. You are in Efia constituency. You are in Bantama. You are in Yeji. You are in Ekropon. You are in Ebri. You are in Koforidua. You are in Ho Sogakope. Wherever you are, just call us. Tell us what is happening in your community, and we'll throw the spotlight on it on Community Watch. And so look forward to Community Watch this morning on ABC in the Morning. And as usual, Ghana Speaks will come your way, where your voice is what matters and your voice is all that we want to hear or listen to. You call us on 053-916-1609, 053-916-1609, and share your thoughts with us. And the latest in the world of sports yesterday was the CAF Awards. And so the sports team will bring us the latest news. Who went home with what? Who was crowned the player of the year. All of these conversations will bring you here on ABC in the morning with me, ABENA Mante. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We appreciate you immensely. Right after this break, we will bring you our front story. Stay with us.
Pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abe. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Come on, let me see what. Hey, wait, this guy. My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is happening? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
The glam we see, the characters we love, they've got stories untapped, events untold, the sequence and details of the experiences unheard.
To my dad, I'm the stubborn one. To my mom, he's the stubborn one.
To the first management that I got, I think I was made to exercise a whole year.
Hey, I'm 20. All I know is how to have sex.
I was out of contract for 4 years.
The pain, the agony, the frustration.
They made my depression worse.
Kimori.
Yes.
The hospital doesn't have a mortuary. We would have to take the baby in a box and then get rid of the body ourselves.
Sometimes I say something and they take it out of context and they bash my husband, they bash my family.
But hey, they survived and they're here to chronicle their journey with me, Miss G, on ABC News GA.
Welcome back. This is still ABC in the morning here on ABC News GH. On our front story, we take a look at the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the security situation there. There's a rising issue of insecurity. You see on your screens a church service in one of the states, the Kwara state, where a congregation is having service and some gunmen storm the church. This is a very, very worrying situation, an extremely worrying situation where lives are threatened, security is threatened. There's a big issue when it comes to security in Nigeria at this moment. You see people running for their lives. There are frail women in there, and how are they going to run for their lives? To live in a country that you call home your whole life, and fearing that you would die in this very ghastly and gruesome manner. Gunmen entering the church. You just saw one pass holding rifles here in Ghana. Just yesterday we were talking with the Arms Commission. Here in Ghana we are giving people who own guns illegally a grace period of 6 weeks to surrender their arms. This way to reduce the proliferation of arms within our system. But in Nigeria, it's a different story, it's a different ball game. People wielding guns anywhere, bandits, unscrupulous persons. A few days ago, a general in the army, the Nigerian army, was kidnapped and killed. He will not be the only one who has been killed by some gunmen, some bandits, some terrorists, killing, raping. School children in Kebbi were abducted, they were kidnapped, their principal shot dead, and the kids kidnapped. What becomes of what becomes of these girls? This will not be the first time girls have been kidnapped in Nigeria. It will not be the first time, and their lives turned upside down. What they knew to be their lives does not become it anymore. In this church, in the video you watch, the pastor was kidnapped and 3 of his congregants were killed. It's a growing issue of insecurity within the country, within some parts of the country. And Nigerians are saying that their president is sleeping. The president is not speaking on the matter. It looks like there's no leadership within the country, and so they do not have direction. Well, the president has released a statement, but his people say that a statement is not enough. They need to see a decisive action. We always say on ABC in the morning that one life is one too many. How much more dozens of lives? And this is the situation in Nigeria. It looks like nobody is spared, from the regular or average Nigerian to duty bearers, to those in positions of power who can take a decision. Nobody is spared. Nobody is spared at all. But the issue is, what is ECOWAS doing? Because if it happens to Nigeria, it happens to all of us all. As a sub-region, they are all body parts of one body. If it affects the arm, it affects the neck. If it affects the head, it affects the legs. Everybody is at risk. If the people of Nigeria decide that their country is not safe for them anymore, they will begin to migrate into other countries. And you know what? Having a home to call yours is a blessing. Having a home to call yours is everything any human being would want. And so having to migrate to another country, a foreign land, where you do not understand their way of life, and build up a new life what becomes of you? Remember the refugees from Liberia who were brought here to Bujumbura. When it was finally time to send them back, some of them asked, why are you taking us? And very valid questions, because some of them grew up in Ghana, some were born here. What is life as they know it is Ghana. Ghana is what they know. Some of them came when they were very young, and you take them back. Who are they going back to meet? Which family is waiting for them? And that is what we risk doing if this happens to Nigeria, whom we call the giant of Africa. This is a worrying situation of insecurity and instability, a very worrying and growing situation in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria is one country that faces a lot of backlash from other countries. Not too long ago, in South Africa, Nigerians were facing xenophobic attacks. They were bearing the brunt of xenophobic attacks for no fault of theirs, just because they are Nigerians. And that's why I say that your country is yours. Your country is yours and yours alone. Even your home is yours and yours alone. And so you need to do and keep it well. Some people say that the powers that be are not handling the situation well because they feel that this situation is far off from them. But you know, when it comes to violence, it's never too far from you. It never is too far from you. And so we hope that Nigeria is able to solve this situation before it spills over into other countries, especially neighboring countries. But Donald Trump, the US president, told his military to prepare for action against Islamist militants in Nigeria. When he issued this directive, some had issues with him. The question was, Donald Trump, president of a sovereign nation, of an independent nation, why do you feel the need to interfere in another sovereign nation? Why do you feel the need? And so there's been some pushback, as well as some welcoming of this news. That I also believe that, you know what, it is time for you to step in as the global superpower. You should step into this situation before it gets worse than it is. This is a worse situation, but it could get worse and worse and worse and worse. But Nigeria, our brothers and sisters, at least for us as Ghanaians, we love you so much. And we pray that your nation prospers. We pray that your nation prospers. What we see at the moment is not a mark of a prospering nation or a prosperous nation. This is a worrying mark. This is very, very worrying. And we shouldn't be condoning it. We shouldn't be seen embracing it. We shouldn't be seen loving it. This is a very, very worrying situation in Nigeria. This is a situation that needs to be dealt with and dealt with now. Religious cohesion is a very, very important manner or important way of life. Religious cohesion. How beautiful it is that two different religions will come together and live in harmony. And that is what we want to see. Not this persecution. No, this is not the persecution we want to see. Now, people have the fear that there are some very unscrupulous persons who are even hiding the mask of Islam to do this. They really may not be anybody who has been sent by their sheikh, or they've not been sent by anybody, But because of the things that are perpetuated, they are hiding behind the masks. They are handling the excesses of a situation such as that. That's religious cohesion. I was reading online, and someone said that the churches that are being attacked are too dull for his liking, and so he would want them to retaliate. To whose benefit? To whose benefit? But these are very, very worrying situations. These are worrying situations, extremely worrying situations, and it's a threat, a big threat to the sub-region, a big threat to the to Nigeria, a country, as a country, a big threat to ECOWAS, a big threat to the continent as a whole, and a global threat to all of us who live in this world. This is a matter that must be checked. This is a matter that must be checked and checked down so that the number of lives lost will be cut short. Too many lives taken away. Too many dreams taken away. We cannot continue to live like this. We cannot continue to live like this at all. This is a very, very worrying situation. This is a worrying problem. And we hope that it is solved. We had looked forward to speaking with an international relations expert on this matter so that we could better appreciate what more we could do as a sub-region body, as even individuals. What can we do? What can we do to help deal with this matter? This is a worrying situation. This is very worrying. Remember a few years ago, a young lady called Deborah was burnt alive in her school because she sent a certain message to her class page, and that was enough for some persons to call for her death. Not only did they call for her death, they set her on fire. They lit her, set her on fire, and they watched. They watched. They watched. Students abducted from school, taken away to be raped. Oh, very, very worrying situation that as a sub-region we should be taking a very critical look at. We risk it spilling over. We really, really risk it spilling over, and want to contain it even before it does. That Nigerians will be able to go about their duties without fear of kidnap. That they can be able to go about their duties knowing that the next minute belongs to them. This is a very depressing period to be Nigerian, looking at what is happening. Looking at what is happening. This is very, very disturbing. Very worrying. Very, very stressful. And we hope that this situation is solved once and for all. We are unable to have. This is very, very worrying. You go on social media, you see all manner of persons talking about this. Some popular or celebrities talking about it, but even the populace or the citizens say that no, you are not speaking much, and so speak the more. This is not a time where political affiliation should draw somebody from speaking on this matter. This is a matter that I believe does not wear political powers. When you're going to be kidnapped, you are not asked which political party in Nigeria you belong to or which family you belong to. We have siblings, we have friends, we have loved ones in Nigeria. This is a very worrying situation, and we hope that it is dealt with and dealt with well. We hope that it is dealt with well so that we can appreciate that Nigeria has gone back to a very calm and peaceful country. People are scared to step out. They are scared to go out because they do not know when they are going out is going to be the last time they step out, because someone may abduct them. This shouldn't be the story. We've come too far to go too back. We have come just too far to go so back. And so we hope that this matter is dealt with and dealt with decisively. We had looked forward to speaking with an international relations expert. In our subsequent bulletins, we will bring you conversation with him and see what the sub-region can do. And then we'll be speaking with some Nigerians in the country. How are they feeling receiving news from their country about these very stressful situation? How are they doing? How are they able to survive? We will do well to bring you some conversations on this matter very soon. But when you say a prayer, say one for Nigeria. And we are standing with our friends, our loved ones, our fellow ECOWAS members, and we are hoping that decisive action is taken by the government in Nigeria, that no external force will troop into the country, because it comes with its own challenges. We hope that Nigerians receive peace so that when they are going to bed at night, they can go to bed knowing that nobody will harm them. There was a young lady who died a few weeks ago, a journalist. Armed robbers besieged her apartment, and it is alleged that she jumped and died. Her mother said she did not believe her daughter would do that because her daughter was scared of heights. This is Nigeria happening to people. Some 5 years ago, at the Lekki toll gates, young Nigerians who were advocating for better governance were killed. We hope that Nigeria returns to normalcy, a country that is great in itself, that can boast of some of the best writers. We pray that peace prevails in Nigeria, and we pray that ECOWAS is able to speak into the matter and settle the issues, the humanitarian crisis that Nigeria is facing, the security crisis that they are facing. That is all for Front Story this morning on ABC in the Morning. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll bring you Community Watch.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come see you. Wait, this guy. My friend, still the form.
It's the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telestar Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telestar Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto echiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Make easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved. Hey, so mommy, who is going to do my day jollof?
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Gino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so good. Tasty nie.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athletes of matters with expert insight from our renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. Then we'll connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get
This is still ABC in the morning. It's time for Community Watch, where we throw the spotlights on a community. We take a look at what's happening within your vicinity that you need attention to be brought on. And today we take a look at Dakuman, the Port Road Network in Dakuman. coupled with the dark roads. No street lights, and so the road is always dark. You're traversing the road and you're scared. The road network is also bad. And so it's two negative things in one. And I dare say this is replicated across the country, especially the capital. If you move at dawn, you move at night, you'd realize how dark the capital is. And let me narrow it to the capital. Very, very dark. Anytime I'm coming to work at dawn and I realize how dark the roads are. The question is, when will we light up our streets? When will we have some good roads? Jessica Ampem visited Dakuman, and she brings us more here on Community Watch.
On today's episode of Community Watch, we throw our spotlight here at the Kaneshi Odoko Highway, where commuters and motorists are complaining bitterly about the deplorable state of roads and faulty street lights in this area. They are complaining that not just is their vehicles being affected, but also there are lots of lives that are usually occurred here on this stretch.
The Kaneshi Odoko Highway remains one of Accra's busiest corridors. Yet for years, the outer lane has become a nightmare for commuters. Deep potholes, eroded road edges, and faulty street lights have turned the stretch into a daily safety hazard where some vehicles even get stuck trying to navigate the damaged lane.
Since I'm so potholes on a boy, oh no, we soon came. I blame it road wet. So, Nina, a car, a boying. Because what Kotaka said, who to the age map, one Diani. Last show, no, who know Nam shop. Well, Nina Brownie, a better form of economy, no. Because she can't make you soon. I know my son the yedding. Made Sarkos and workshop. I brought Nam Kwanti, Yabe Yakeke. Oh, fans of police was a man foul. So, because Obiano Pekon phone, no one antiso. Say a good counsel that I say a shiny chassis. By your moose that I need the access of one with the young goose. Then the young goose, no one number to yasin, the young goose who. Oh, bomb no way, Marshall. Why would the can of the number to be sure when no way, Marshall?
When you're in a burn, Cocompe burn, baying cry. As an eye we have a quany, a fear. Oh, so score, no fear, can be fair. If they, oh, my government be an or government. Highway be an ameba. Now I can't fake bow.
Yakwana Namusuna, ye manhole. A soon a seti owu if you diamond. In fact, a drana would nam quano swa. Whoopa. It's yes, a ban or tesuno. Yes, Reno. Only enemy say a cassorti. Ombo de on ye bibi and for my. That was quano.
Why shall Kaya Ebeo? Shakaya Ebe. A quanin yet. Where will car Nisu Kakra Sompono, a bet to me, a born bet to me, Emma, a sell car. And the way says a one tobo and for car and far day I say one. Who find inside no codo and a police at you. Et me create traffic bebre.
And Robin, no man, me front beam, a booye. Insu Saquani ya, in Cabibiatis and Emma, until you stray a buying, unfun and Nancy foam. Non boyen.
Thrown into complete darkness due to non-functioning street lights. A worker at a vehicle dealership along the highway recounted an incident where a car on display was stolen under the cover of darkness.
Street light ni na fiti Malam Junction to Kaneshi Bakukura Nyejuma. And chair and on baby, my boss in the car back on Dansuma Junction. New car, we are from phone on baby. Yamiadom street cameras and any tracing the Quenya Cano. And Yabasre Aban on your street lights and women, Edwana Dra. When I'm quantus now, and easy, a bit to me cross so Dakuma Junction chair and a car will be. Dansuma Junction chair and a car will be.
Street light na enye adwuma nti ama okita car obre ewo from Madam Junction straight to Kaneshi.
Shane street light no onye. Street light no onye. Sisa all the Accra no traffic light ni asese. Nso obi wo ha oji wiska odi. Yesre impanyinfo na omudi enim no. Omunye bibi amanya timemfo no so nyanso ya wonton ye.
Bi se mitoka sister million. Car na 1 week me ko accident because of light off. Me na me ka tira o. Me say car no poto. Say car na me say ni pa no cross me out and traffic o wa. Nka say me na me gina. Wo say say no su gina nko be gina. Me nya man fa car na nya adwuma 1 week home use say car no. Na wo sha na me bobra na me me bosan.
Residents and frequent road users attribute the recurring road damage largely to poor drainage. Drains along the route remain chronically choked, causing heavy flooding anytime it rains, especially around the Hansonic Junction, further weakening the road surface. Despite constant complaints dating back as far as 2020, motorists say little has been done by the Urban Roads Department or the Ghana Highway Authority. Temporary patch works often wash away after the next rainfall, leaving the road in its original deplorable state.
Say so ta can't to me come a honey na frodo. Adali say drivers in India and schoolboy be share got him. Drivers no ne save akwala no life man. One crane mami will face or go school no point we be wu.
Okay. Anytime water starts staggering on the road, it will wear us very small or gradual. So it's the water that is causing the whole mess on the road.
Titro ya outer lane ya ewura kodan so ma no. Ane de yehu bebia nso no free. Nso no takakra. Aha ina be frade. Aha ina be yema. Nso so anton so anope se ye ba ye nam nso ahoro ka. Wodo ka ko washi be se wo horo. Wo horo wi na de be nu nso mu cho. Na kana san yifi.
Anytime bia nsuo no beto a na ahohoro abua for main road no so. Gwata ne mu nyina si. Enti e be sere se mpanifo a ye mpanifo mo hwe ye so awo man mi hu. Ye de otwedi ampon kutu sere e pa mo cho se omonti omoni na mo hwe o da akoma junction. Na nsuo ne ha ya adwen pa wa eto a etimi huru lo kwa no mu nyina na ama lori ko mu nyina e basa ka se nyina ntimi nko ka timbi sese na ebrebra fie na sese ne o te be sere mpanifo se omonti omoni na mo hwe da akoma junction.
Road users are now appealing to government agencies to move beyond inspections and assurances and implement lasting solutions. They want proper drainage, durable resurfacing of the highway, and the restoration of street lights to improve safety for both motorists and pedestrians. For now, commuters on the Kaneshi-Odoko stretch say all they can do is hope. Hope for swift intervention before the situation results in more accidents and possibly the loss of lives.
It's night time. The lights here at the Kaneshi-Odoko Highway are off because the street lights are not working. Pedestrians and road users here are not asking much from government. All they are asking for is their street lights to be fixed and the roads as well. They called and we came. If you want us to come into your community, kindly call the number on your screen and we will be there. That's all for today's episode on Community Watch. I am Jessica Akua Ampim. On today's episode of Community Watch, we throw our spot.
Well, so you see the deplorable roads that the people of Dakuman have to use every day to work and from work. Those who live there, those who work there are telling us how their cars have developed various degrees of faults because of the deplorable road network in the community. You see that the lights are off, the streets are really dark, and so we are calling on the duty bearers within the municipality and the constituency to take a look at the roads and the street lights at Dakoman. Their street lights are not working, traffic lights also not working, so their lives are at risk, their property also at risk. I keep saying here that one life lost is one life too many. We should not wait until the unfortunate happens before we scramble to want to fix the matter. We should look at prevention rather than curing. Government, as captured in the 2026 budget, under the health sector, says that they are moving the health sector from curing rather to prevention. Some ailments that can be prevented will be prevented. I dare say that when it comes to our road network, our traffic lights, our street lights, we should rather look at having them fixed right from the beginning. We should have our street lights working, our traffic lights working, our roads in very good shape, rather than always firefighting the issue. When a matter comes, that is when we scramble. We deserve better as a people, and so we hold our duty bearers to that they should also give us the best, because we do deserve that. Thank you to Jessica for bringing us that insight on Dakoman. And like Jessica said, if you want us to come into your community, get in touch with us, 0539161609, and then we will come and see what is happening and bring it to the attention of the duty bearers. It will be our greatest honor. That's all for Community Watch. We'll take a break. When we return, we bring you a one-on-one conversation with the MP for Fancy Irebi, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come see what? Where this guy? My friend, see before.
It's the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telestar Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telestar Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mumpe baby amubeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
The glam we see, the characters we love, they've got stories untapped, events untold, the sequence and details of the experiences unheard.
To my dad, I'm the stubborn one. To my mom, he's the stubborn one.
To the first management that I got, I think I was made to exercise a whole year.
Hey, I'm 20. All I know is how to have sex.
I was out of contract for 4 years.
The pain, the agony, the frustration, they make my depression worse.
Kimori.
Yes.
The hospital doesn't have a mortuary. We would have to take the baby in a box and then get rid of the body ourselves.
Sometimes I say something and they take it out of context and they bash my husband, they bash my family.
But hey, they survive and they're here to chronicle their journey with me, Miss G, on ABC News GA.
Magic Pepper and Onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper, and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abe. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss Keke.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, any easy. Scoring, any easy. Winning, any easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. I easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, so mommy, who is going to do my wedding jollof?
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Gino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so good. Tasty near.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athletes of matters with expert insight, former renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. They will connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking points. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
The glam we see, the characters we love, they've got stories, stories untapped, events untold, the sequence and details of the experiences unheard.
To my dad, I'm the stubborn one. To my mom, he's the stubborn one.
To the first management that I got, I think I was made to exercise a whole year.
Hey, I'm 20. All I know is how to have sex.
I was out of contract for 4 years.
The pain, the agony, the frustration,
they made my depression worse.
Yes.
The hospital doesn't have a mortuary. We would have to take the baby in a box and then get rid of the body ourselves.
Sometimes I say something and they take it out of context and they bash my husband, they bash my family.
But hey, They survived, and they are here to chronicle their journey with me, Miss G,
on ABC News GA.
thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching ABC in the morning here on ABC News GH. Today, on our main discussion, we bring you a conversation with the ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee of Parliament. He's also the MP, the representative for the good people of Ofuansi Ayerebi, Honorable Kojo Ponkroma. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Abena. Thanks for having me.
Yesterday, you were very vocal on the floor of Parliament. I think for the latter part of the day, it was your video that was making the waves.
Oh, okay.
You were talking a lot to the majority in a very distinct manner, because normally we would say because you are in opposition, you should be opposing everything the majority is doing. But your submission was more of an advice to the majority about what to do and how to get it better, even referencing your government that has just left power. The question many are asking is, why are you advising the majority if your actions caused Ghanaians to boot you out of government?
Thanks, and let me say good morning to yourself and to your viewers. I think that we in the front line of politics have a responsibility, not just to campaign and win power and do a we versus them, but we have a responsibility to this country to ensure that the lessons that we have learned over the period, we can bring it to bear on successive governments so that they don't have to repeat the same mistakes that we made. If you will recall, and if your viewers will recall, during the mid-year review of the budget, when we saw in fact, before the budget, when we saw the strategy that the government wanted to use, we advised that we have tried some of these methods before. They achieve temporary results, but in the end, when you are hit by some challenges, everything crumbles. So try not to go that way. They went that way. Then mid-year, we started pointing out to them the symptoms that were showing up. For example, on revenue, on expenditure, even on the macro indicators like the exchange rates, interest rates, inflation, etc. We started pointing out to them. But when a government wins power and there's a lot of euphoria and goodwill, sometimes you don't listen. So they've kept on the path. And so yesterday, what I was doing was showing them that you see the things that we started hinting you about, they are beginning to show up. And it appears that you want to deepen the problem in the next budget. You only have 4 budgets. This is the second one. You want to deepen the problem in the next budget. If you don't turn and re-steer the course, it may look like some temporary success has been achieved. And that's why I was referencing things in our time. But when something hits you, you'll be in trouble. So you have time. You have 2 more budgets to go. 3 more years to go. Quickly turn course so that we don't end up going round in circles, else we won't move forward as a country.
Well, in turning course, you argue, and it's been very popular amongst the minority or the NPP, that government is underspending.
Yes.
It's one thing that you've been trumpeting for a very long time, and that the underspending is affecting very critical areas. Really, what critical areas is government's under expenditure causing us to falter in?
So, for example, when we say it is important for government to spend what it has programmed to spend, it is because government is the single largest stimulus in the economy. If government executes its programs and spends what it has programmed to spend to back those programs, it stimulates economic activity. When government doesn't do that, everything grinds to a halt. Yesterday, around 11 p.m., I saw a video of teachers who went, or teacher trainees who had graduated and who went on a demonstration. They had a loudspeaker with them, and they were playing back the commitments that the government had made. They played back the voice of the education minister, who had announced that they were going to recruit 50,000 teachers in 2025.
Well, but now the education minister says in 2026 they will recruit about 61,000.
No, I think it says 6,100. So I'll come to that. They were playing back his voice in which he had said that they were going to recruit 50,000 teachers in 2025. Then they played back His Excellency the President's voice in which he even said that they were going to do automatic recruitment. To be able to achieve that, your revenue must perform so that you can give them financial clearance and recruit them and pay them. If you play politics with the revenue measures, you will not be able to raise that money, and therefore you will disappoint the 50,000 teachers in 2025. Then in 2026, the extra 10,000 teachers you need to recruit, you can't even recruit them because the revenue is not performing. So look at it, 50,000 plus 10,000, 60,000. Now the Minister for Education says that he has been given 6,100 to recruit. That is about 53,000 potential teachers who are disappointed and are sitting at home. It is just one example of a critical sector. Take the nurses. Remember the nurses who went to the health ministry and had a banter with the health minister and called him a TikTok content creator or something? It is because they were promised that either they were going to get their allowances or they were going to be recruited. And because the government has played politics with the revenue strategy, they don't have the money to spend. I could give you several examples in capital expenditure, which affects roads and all of these constructions. You need the money to be able to do it. If you play politics with the revenue efforts and you don't get the revenue, you now start disappointing all these critical sectors. It breaks my heart to say this. Mid-year, we were having a conversation about the same problem, and I was talking about the fact that because they are not doing that, they can't spend on security. And at the time, you recall that something had happened in the north, and you know the intelligence agencies had not been able to pick it up. And somebody went to, I think, Nalerugu Senior High School and either murdered a student or something.
It was a part of the conflict situation.
And I was making the point that if you don't raise the revenues, even your intelligence assets, because government has a whole national security architecture where you have intelligence assets in various places to give you intel, and sometimes you're able to thwart that intel. If you are not even paying your informants, you won't know. And crime and other things will be escalating. So it's not just about saying that, oh, I love you, MPP hated you, so I've removed this tax. The consequence is that the money that you need to do the things that you've promised the people, you won't get it. So it's in that context.
But some people believe that this is just you pushing the government to spend and then shoot themselves in the foot or sabotage them, because obviously a minority or opposition, as very literal as it means, is to just oppose whatever government is doing. And so we really are finding it difficult to see it coming from a good place.
It's okay if people don't see it coming from a good place. There's a lot of mistrust these days in politicians, you know, in institutions, etc. So I don't even worry about that. The people on whose behalf we are raising these points, the 50,000 or so young people who have been promised that they'll be recruited, they can sense that this is coming from a good place. The nurses who are not recruited, they know that this is coming from a good place. The contractors who have to be paid so that they will return onto the roads and do the jobs, they know that this is coming from a good place. We are not doing this politics for the plaudits of men. We are doing it because we believe that there is a genuine need to be of service to build a better nation for ourselves. I mean, look at it. You wake up in the morning, you want to go to work, and even if you get into public transport, you are stuck in traffic for God knows how many hours. We will all prefer an efficient, speedy public transport system like we see in other countries. It takes leadership to deliver it. So those of us who come to leadership must come with a certain desire to be of service and to help improve the status quo, and that's the basis on which we say this.
Would you have rather expected that government, even though they had made so many promises in the manifesto on the campaign trail, in coming to government should have said, say COVID-19, say e-levy, we appreciate the concerns that are available when it comes to it's so much of a burden on us. We also appreciate that we said that we're going to remove them, but when we came, we realized that it is an imperative that we keep these ones. Is that what you would have expected?
I would have preferred government not to even get there. And the way not to get there is by being truthful right from the beginning. You know, half the time, politicians know the truth, but for political convenience, they tell the public something else. So, for example, we had a year 2020 in which, because of the pandemic of the previous year, we had to shut down Ghana's economic golden triangle, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, for about 2 months. Because productive activity was not going on, no government revenue was coming. But government at the same time had to make a lot of expenses. had to pay teachers, we had to pay service workers, we had to spend a lot of money in trying to contain a situation that we didn't even understand so well. By the time we finished, we were in debt. And government said, we need to mobilize resources to pay back that debt. So we introduced a COVID levy. The NDC knew that that COVID levy that had been introduced was not because there was COVID still with us. It was to pay the debt that had been incurred when we were spending and not getting money. But they came around telling Ghanaians that COVID is still move to our COVID levy. It's a bad idea. The government is wicked. So when we come to power, we will remove the COVID levy, vote against this government. They knew that they needed that money, even if they were the government, to pay back what had been
so then my question
inherited.
To you as...
If I just may land on that one. They knew that that money was required to pay back the loans that had been taken to provide water and to provide all sorts of other things for us. But they chose to do a lot of with it. So when they came to power in 2025 January, they knew that if they took away COVID levy, they can't pay back those loans. So they kept it for 1 year. And now that the window has come down, then they say, oh, as part of VAT reforms, we are now removing it. They knew that some of the levies that had been introduced because we needed to close a revenue gap so that we would try and deliver on some of the promises. But they chose to tell the people something else. Now they win power, they are compelled to remove some of them, they remove, and now they're having gaps in their revenue basket and are not able to deliver. So I would prefer that they don't even get there. Tell the people the truth. You know, the last time they came to Parliament, I think with a $360 million loan. And when they came to Parliament, because they've done a lot of politics with the fact that we shouldn't borrow, they were now shy to say that this was a loan. So now they came and they say this is a financing agreement. So my point is that don't even get there. Let's be candid with the people. The people may not like what you are telling them in the beginning, but let them know the truth.
Okay.
So that you don't have to now get to a point where you now have to obfuscate and run around rings. That's my point.
This takes me back to when the NPP was in government. One thing Ghanaians complained about was that the government was not listening. Today you explained the COVID levy in the sense of which government needed to collect the levy. But at the time, many Ghanaians agitated. Many thought that this was just a levy that you wanted to collect because your government loved taxing the people and the people were fatigued. Again, it was COVID time. So many people had lost their jobs. Others were now really wanting to get on their feet. What stopped the NPP government, of which you were a part of, from explaining some of these issues candidly, as you put it, to the people for us to better appreciate it? Because now we juxtapose the previous government or the second coming of the NPP to the second coming of the NDC or John Dramani Mahama, and the Ghanaian says that this government seems to listen to us the more. They are more on the ground with us. We can better feel them, and I'll quote the Bible, like the Bible says, we do not have an intercessor who does not feel what we feel. So it looks like you were hanging in the air. The average Ghanaian was just at the bottom. What stopped you?
You know, first of all, it is a matter of fact that we did a lot of explanation. But when it gets to a time where people are in a lot of difficulty, you know the expression that we have, interior outcome. So that was the truth. But let me take you to 2017. Ghanaians were also of the view that, this MPP government is listening to us and the previous NDC government was not listening. The reason is that getting to the end of the last NDC administration, when Ghanaians were in a lot of hardship, doom saw and all of those things, all the explanations that the NDC government would give, people were just not listening. In the beginning, from 2017 to 2020, literally, people were listening very much to us because the conditions around us were comfortable. We had removed about 14 taxes. This single-digit inflation they were talking about, we had done it in 2018. We brought it down to 7.8. 2019, we brought it down to 7.1. It was a single digit. The currency, it didn't appreciate, but it stabilized. This is when we even said that, we've put the dollar in handcuffs and we've given the key to the IGP. You see, at a time when things were comfortable, when transport fares were being reduced. Yesterday I heard Felix Kwachi for say transport fares were reduced by 15%. I said, go and check 2022 or so. Transport fares were being reduced at a point. Even electricity bills were reduced. People were happy. At that time, people will listen to you. When the hardships start and people are of the view that you are not responding to the hardships enough, they don't listen to you. But the reason for which the hardship comes is that, and again, this was part of my submissions yesterday, when we achieve the slightest of success, we're over the moon. We think all the problems have gone away.
But maybe it's because we come from a place where difficulty is synonymous to our living as a people.
I can understand that, but that is why, therefore, we are drawing the attention of our colleagues who today are on the government benches. That the dancing you are doing in the chamber, we've seen it too many times before. But when we don't deal with the structural issues, all you need is one major shock, then we are back to square one. It was our unfortunate, may I say, scenario. Nobody, when we were going into power, had the mindset that in our second term, inflation will go up to 54%. But because the structural issues had not been dealt with, one small shock and then we were all now in trouble. And so we draw the attention of our colleagues that stop the dancing and pay attention to the substantive issues. If you don't and you get excited that inflation has come to single digit, interest rates have come down, the currency has appreciated. And that's why I was giving them the dates from 2001 when Osafo Mafo was finance minister. Today I hear people say Ato is forcing. They called Osafo Mafo Oyadiyi Osafo Mafo. They called Kwabena Dufo unprecedented when he did the 3 years. He even did 3 years of single digit inflation. We did 2 years. He did 3 years of single digit inflation. So my point is that it's not out of malice. We have an opportunity to pay attention, deal with the fundamental issues and turn this economy around so that we don't keep running in circles.
So left to you, COVID-19 levy would still remain?
No. In fact, if you look at our manifesto, we said that by this time, it would have fulfilled this purpose and that it should go. If you look at our manifesto, it was quite clear. But like I said, at the time, people were in hardship and people were of the view that, Master, you introduce it. If you can remove it now. And no explanation that you were giving that it has to go over a certain period. It's only, let's say, by the end of 2025 that you can remove it, was going down well with people. So, no, that's not one of the measures that we think. We removed taxes also when we came to power. But you see, the argument is that when you remove taxes, you must be able to find other ways of ensuring that you don't have a hole in your national treasury. What this government has done is that they've removed those taxes, nothing wrong with that, but they have not provided ways by which that hole can be dealt with. And that is why they are hemorrhaging on many of the promises that they've made.
Government is looking at some revenue measures, VAT reforms and all. One of the things I looked particularly at in the budget was the fact that we're going to raise the threshold for small businesses from 250,000 to like 750,000. Is that good enough, especially for the few or the many young people who, because there are no jobs, keep looking at venturing into entrepreneurship? And we've been told this over and over again. You go for any conference on business, on building yourself, and they're telling us that jobs out there, create the jobs. And so with this threshold that has been broadened by this much, is it good enough?
So the government has now come to Parliament with what they call the VAT Amendment Bill itself. That bill has something in it called the fiscal impact. It is that one that will show what the numbers are. We haven't seen the numbers that they are playing with. They have only told us that when they reduce the effective rate from 29.9 to 20 and they lift the threshold, they will get more money. We have argued that, first of all, when you did it in 2025, that you will get more money. Remember, they said that when they remove the taxes, they will rather move us from 13.9 to 18, and that hasn't happened. In fact, on the whole revenue picture, we're doing 16% of GDP. As at now, we're doing 11%, and they are saying that from now to December, they can do 5% more plus. And that's why, but that's why Amin Anta was doing the calculation and telling them that this your forecasting is just wishful thinking. So sometimes when you come with the theory that if I lower it, more people will pay, it doesn't work out as we've seen in 2025. That is the same argument they are making for VAT. It's not about is it a good thing or is it a bad thing. For us, it's about what is the fiscal impact. And if the fiscal impact takes us down, then the effort is not worth it. You would have said, oh, I'm doing the people some good, but in the end, it will do all of us a bit more of harm. You see, if you look at the OECD countries, on the average, they are doing 20% of GDP back to the treasury. Simply put, what it means is that when we all engage in economic activity, and we make money, the total productivity of the country, 20% of it is what goes back to the treasury. And that is what is then used to service the needs of the people. In Ghana, we are doing 16%, and we have to be going up. Even the 16%, the tax measures that we have, people are complaining. So you ask yourself, is it true that when you remove them, the people will pay some more? That is the context. But if actually it can happen, who doesn't like it?
But you are an advocate for paying taxes.
I am.
You are a very strong advocate for paying taxes. And so in this case, how do you rally the Ghanaian behind paying taxes? Anytime you talk about taxes, Ghanaians give you these three things as the foundations for which they are not. They tell you, our roads are bad. Fair
question.
Street lights are not working. Just before we started our conversation, we went to the Akuman. The roads are bad. Street lights are not working. Traffic lights not working. Even just on this road where ABC News GH is, for the past year and a half, street lights are not working. The traffic lights are even gone. There are no hanging faulty traffic lights for us to even say they
so people say, I don't see the value of the taxes I'm paying, so I shouldn't pay some more.
Why should I be paying some more? Because my money is just too small. I'm collecting 1,000 cedis at the end of the day.
So it's always a chicken and egg situation. And I think that what the political leaders in this country have to do is to demonstrate some more to the people the use to which the little taxes that is paid is put, so that people now get a sense that, okay, so what I'm paying, this is what it's being used for. I concede that many of our people are of the view that the taxes we pay don't show up among us, and that it is all, let's say, chopped by politicians and other people. And it doesn't help when you watch the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament meeting and you hear all of these financial infractions. It really defeats the public morale when it comes to that. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to demonstrate to the people that the taxes that we are paying are being put to good use. But let me also say that revenue is not all about taxes. I'm a strong advocate for revenue, because without the revenue, you can't deliver. But revenue is not all about taxes. If you look at the revenue schedule, we have tax revenue and we have non-tax revenue. This country has so much resources, which, if well harnessed, can help us to raise a lot of revenue, which doesn't actually require people to take taxes. So, for example, we have what we call carried interest in a lot of our mining and other natural resource endowments. We have participating interest. We have royalties. How seriously are we focusing on ensuring that all of those are mobilized so that they come to help the tax effort and the people can see the value and the benefits? I don't think we've done well there enough. But this is a continuous exercise that we have to be on and demonstrate some more to the people.
Okay. Now you bring in royalties, you bring in mining and all. I want us to look a little bit at NIMOS. NIMOS is captured in the budget, 150 million Ghana cedis as allocation to NIMOS. We've spoken to some persons on the show, and they say that it is too little for our fight against illegal mining, which is really killing us as a people. Just yesterday, one NIMOS officer died, very unfortunate. And 2 days ago on this network, political scientist at KNUST, at Kumasi Technical University, Dr. Samuel Efi, said that he would expect that government would give the NIMOS officers a lot of money so that they are not enthused or they are not bought by the people.
In fact, even the president before the budget mentioned that there's a need to make a lot more resources available.
And so it's 150 enough? Is it enough resources?
You're asking the wrong person.
Well, you are also
it is not enough. It is not enough because they have played politics with the revenue measures. In law, we say nemo dat non quod habet. You cannot give what you don't have. If you are of the view, and I share that view, that we need to invest more in the anti-galamsey fight, that means that you have to mobilize more resources to be able to do that. And if you play politics with the revenue measures, you will not get the So you cut your nose and you spite your face. That's what's going on. Listen, the development gap in this country is so wide. There are many communities in this country that there is no presence of government. police doesn't exist there, because the next police station is so many miles away. Health services are not there. Telephone networks are not there. You will not find the presence of government or development there. We have a huge gap. I have communities in my constituency that I'm still today working on getting telephone network together, even after all the network mass that we've tried to mobilize into the areas. There are communities today that don't have potable drinking water. To be able to deliver all of those things, Abena, you need to improve the resource envelope. If you don't improve the resource envelope, you can say all you want to say to the people and tell them how much you love them and how much you want to give them, what you will not be able to do it. And that is why I keep coming back to the basics. How are we taking the revenue conversation seriously enough so that we can deliver on what our people want? And if we, the political class, keep playing yo-yo or ping-pong with the revenue conversation, it's one of the most important conversations we should have in this country. If we keep playing ping-pong with it, our development will always be constrained.
That's also very worrying. In going into 2026, we want a better Ghana for ourselves as a people.
True.
We all want to enjoy Ghana. We want jobs. It's because of jobs that so many young people
and the 6 ladies perished.
They perished. And this dawn, when I was coming to work, they were already queuing at LWAC because they've resumed the selection, the recruitment process. And so jobs. Ghanaians need jobs. We want to create 800,000 jobs, but one of the things that we hear is that it is not possible, especially from a party that campaign with "it is possible." Why are you saying that it's not possible?
So,
I mean, Ghanaians will be happy with 800,000 jobs.
So we all concede that we need to get our economy to a point where the economy creates or churns out a lot more jobs, or at least an equal number of jobs, to the number of young people who are coming into the job market. The NDC, in my view, in all humility, has gotten the job creation paradigm wrong. And it is because of the political philosophy to which they belong. You know, they are on the left. They believe that it is the business of government to create jobs. We are on the right. We believe that the business of government is to create an enabling or stimulating environment so that jobs can be created. They are two very distinct views. So you'll find out that the NDC says their strategy for job creation, if you look at paragraph 500, and yesterday I was quoting the paragraphs to them, paragraph 501 coming of the budget speech, not the official budget document, the speech. The minister first announces that they are going to create 800,000 jobs. First of all, I tell you that it's not the job of government to create jobs. It's the job of government to create an enabling environment for jobs to be created. That is where they start making the mistake. Then if you go to paragraph 501, he says that almost 500,000 of those jobs are literally going to be labor at road construction sites. It is in the budget.
But that is not sustainable enough.
And these roads are like for 3 years or something.
Okay.
And so this is why we say to them that if you announce to young people that Abani be kreti ejuma, you've sold a false hope to them. Then secondly, when we go into the budget, how is Abani kreti ejuma? You say 500,000 of them are going to be labor at road construction sites.
Now, although it's not sustainable in that 3 years, let's say the roads are going to be constructed in 3 years, someone would have been able to save some good money to be able to do something for themselves
If that is your view, I won't argue with you. I'm not saying you. If that is a government view, I won't argue with them. I was in Cape Coast University on Monday morning. There were hundreds of young students getting degrees, diplomas, etc. The other day, I drove by Unimac. I saw all these students coming out of their NAFTI campus. I think they were doing various other courses. I was at Ashesi University last 2 weeks. I met their law and governance class, you know, lots of students studying, cracking their brains, everything. What you are telling me is that in your job creation paradigm, all of these young people are not factored. And that is a very different paradigm from saying that I'm going to create an enabling environment so that jobs can be created. And I'll come to that. The second part of their job creation strategy is what they call the 24-hour economy, 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. They sold it very well. You remember their campaign launch? They had a clock there, and they were pointing 1 job, 3 shops, 3 shifts, 3 people. And they made young people in this country believe that the way to get a job was that the government jobs, first of all, which is very easy for them to do, will run 3 shifts. And that they would then also encourage private sector to run 3 shifts. At the time, we kept drawing the attention of Ghanaian youth that this, and this is where I agree with you, this is not possible. At the time, again, like I say, because people were very angry with us, nobody was even listening to the arguments we were making. Now, today they came to power. Yesterday, I was giving them some data. If you look at the data from the National Development Planning Commission, the 1D1F created 150 factories, or had 150 factories functioning in, at the end of the 8 years, under 1D1F. This government said that strategy was bogus. It wasn't good enough. This was our strategy. We said that create an environment where private sector can create jobs. Those jobs are sustainable. They will cut across. The private sector will pay them. We don't have to come and tax people or borrow to go and pay them. So we said 1D1F. So we created a framework where we give industrial persons incentives. Then they create their own businesses. So we are giving you tax waivers. We are giving you permission to get concessional loans at the banks, and a few other incentives. 150 factories that were functioning under it at the end of 2024. That's 18 factories a year. The NDC said it's not good enough.
How many people did that employ?
From the data that I saw, it was almost 200,000 people. From the NDPC data. This is not my data, NDPC data. Okay. The NDC said that's not good enough. So, kick us out, bring them in. We were kicked out, and they were brought in. One of the first things they did was that they announced that they've cancelled the 1D1F program. So anybody who was expecting to get the new incentives to open 18 more factories this year, you won't get it. So everybody is now expecting that the 24-hour economy, which is the alternative, 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people, will be rolled out. And it will be better than 18 factories and the number of jobs. That's how you are actually going to create jobs. We are in November.
Maybe you should give time some time.
Don't worry.
Some time and
Don't worry. Then in early November, when we had a conversation with them that let's give time some time. But what is the strategy? What are the resources? The majority leader, the Honorable Ayaga, my good friend, told us that if you're expecting us to bring a document and to bring money for a 24-hour economy, it's not going to happen. He told us, open, and the records are there on television during the press conference with the minority leader at the beginning of the session. All of a sudden, 3 days ago or 4 days ago in Parliament, Finance Minister says that he's made available 100 million Ghana cedis for 24-hour economy. So that 100 million Ghana cedis, Abena, you let me ask you, you've been interacting with a lot of people. Is it to pay the salaries of workers? Or is to provide free electricity for factories? Or is to provide incentive? What is it for? Nobody knows. When you ask them to bring the document and let's go through, they won't bring it. So we want jobs. But the strategy that the government says it is deploying to deliver the jobs, that strategy, I say with the greatest of respect, is not fit for purpose.
Well, but maybe it's government who has sat down with all of their technical advisors, some very venerable professors and doctors. They have looked at the matter and they think that this is how they're going to go about it. Let's get into 2026 and see what they can do.
We'll be happy to.
Well, now this brings me to the health sector. Government is talking about doing a lot of things within the health sector. Says that it will complete some 11, some 10 Agenda 111 hospitals. It's going to build 6 regional hospitals for the 6 regions that, the 6 new regions that were created and do not have hospitals.
Yeah.
But you look at the monies, and you look at the monies juxtaposing it to nursing trainee allowances, the allocation for it, and for some, it raises a concern about whether government's heart is in the right place. Because how about we translate the monies for the nursing trainees into building more hospitals to absorb the many nurses at home? And so when somebody raises a concern like that, are they right in raising concerns about this situation?
They are right in raising concerns, but I think the way these concerns are being structured, if this is how they are raising them, misses some of the key points. First of all, let us remind ourselves that the 6 regional hospitals are part of the Agenda 111. Agenda 111 was 88 districts, regional hospitals, and specialist hospitals, like the mental hospitals in the middle and the northern belts. So the 6 regional hospitals is not a new thing. We had a government that was A, paying allowances, and B, because we had structured money coming through GIF Health. GIF Health is the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund health subsidiary. So it's a fund that raises money for infrastructure projects that can pay for itself. So we had a government that was using GIF Health to build 111 of these facilities across the country. Because when COVID came, we realized that we didn't have enough medical facilities across the country to take care of people. My district, Achimansan district, of Fonseca constituency, for example, we don't have a district hospital.
But wasn't that too ambitious?
I'll come to that. It is, when I came to power, that we upgraded Brenase Health Center into a polyclinic, built a medical theater, and for the first time since independence, I brought 3 medical doctors into the district who are there today and working. And today we've put students on scholarship to go to medical school and come back and work. In fact, just yesterday, we granted 1 new scholarship for a new medical student. So we have a gap. And to close that gap, the government has to be ambitious. And so the government thought hard, sat with its experts and said, we can build 111. We will use money from this fund called GIF Health to build it. And everybody in this country realizes that work was going on. I was information minister when it started. We used to go around with cameramen and other things showing the work. We were showing working. That was going on. And we're paying those contractors, the work was going on. The NDC came to power and said that, 1, they have stopped Agenda 111.
Before even the NDC, may I know why? And I think my viewers would love to know why the NPP could not complete it. Because when the president talked about, the president then spoke about Agenda 111, it was within a year. Agenda 111 hospitals.
I think it was 18 months.
18 months. That's about a year and 6 months. It was very ambitious. Everybody was looking forward to it. But at the end of 3 years,
I don't think it was 3 years. I think it was 2 years and a little over instead of the 18 months that had been promised. But at the time that we were leaving power, there were hospital facilities that were even around 90% complete. There were some that had actually been completed. Equipment had been brought in. I think about 1 or 2 of them were even commissioned.
But
I agree that not all of them had been finished. But nobody can deny the amount of work that was ongoing. Then the NDC government said that they have stopped it. And in its place, let's not forget, they said we were going to build, first of all, if you recall, they said we were going to build 600 CHIPS compounds. You recall? So I think the first question we should be asking is, okay, let's say we were overambitious. They were more realistic. Where are the 600 CHIPS compounds? You even show workings.
Well, that's why Ghanaians begin to become frustrated, because eventually...
Ghanaians should not be frustrated. MPP was building 111 hospitals, you could see it. I toured these hospitals with pressmen literally every month. We'll go. We went all the way to Dambai. We'll go. You see the hospitals coming up in each of these 88 districts. The NDC came and said they have stopped it. We were overambitious. They will build 600 CHIPS compounds. I'm saying to you that the first work that we need to check is the status of the 600 CHIPS compounds. Where are they? Can they show working for them? Put that one aside. They haven't responded to that. Now they jump to a new promise that this year they will complete 10 of the Agenda 111. I'm telling you that there were several of them that were even about 90% complete when we were leaving power. And that if they had, instead of shifting goalposts to say that they were going to do 600 CHIPS compounds, if they had focused that let's say they will even finish that 10 in 2025, there will be at least 10 of those districts where people who have died between January and now because they couldn't get good medical care, their lives would have been saved.
Let me ask you this before we even go.
At this rate, the NDC is telling us that, and here's something I want Ghanaians to pay attention to. The NDC is telling us that it's going to take 10 years to finish the Agenda 111 program. This is a program that the MPP was on the course of completing, let's say, even within 3 years. Contrary to the 18 months. The time, and if you saw those projects within about 3 years from the time of conception, they were almost done with it. The NDC is now telling us that it will take them 10 years. This is what it means.
But then if you're supposed to achieve...
If you are in one of those districts, it will take you 10 years to get a district hospital.
But I come back to the NPP. If you promised to do this in 18 months, if you saw that there were going to be issues in completing 111 in 18 months, why didn't you just scale it down to maybe 20?
The issues were not with funding. The issues were with the construction and its management going on. Again, I remind you that I was information minister at the time. We used to go around. You will get to a particular place, we'll go for the inspection. You find out from the contractor, you're supposed to be at 60% by now. Why are you at, let's say, 40% by now? I remember one in which the contractor was telling us that where we are, we need the ECG guys to move the major electric pylons here to another position about 20 meters or so from here. Until they do that, we can't proceed with
so then that
our
mean,
so
well,
there were issues, not necessarily with funding, but there were issues with the management of the construction going forward. So that is very different from saying
then
therefore
what happened with due diligence, all the due diligence that should have been done to make
but
sure
that is not about due diligence. You can do the due diligence, then you have collaboration from other agencies that, okay, ECG has to come and move these electricity pylons here, and they haven't come to move theirs. It can cause a delay here. There were places, for example, where the district assembly, because one of the terms was that the district assembly is supposed to provide a land full of all encumbrances and cleared. So you have places where the contractors are already there on site, and the district assembly is the one that is delaying. So it was not about funding, because we created a structure. It was called the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Health Subsidiary, which was making regular payments. It wasn't even coming through our normal payment structure, because GIF, if you recall, is a fund that raises money and it funds self-paying projects. Because these hospitals, when people go, payments will be made. And so GIF will get part of its money back. So it wasn't about money. Even if it delayed from 18 months to 36 months, it wasn't about money. It was about the construction management and its projects. And everybody saw that it was moving on. You then had a government that said that that approach was bad, but 600 chips compounds is better. And I'm saying that no problem. I believe that political parties and the people of Ghana must have a right every 4 years to take a decision and say, okay, we don't want this, we want this one. No problem. So the 600 chips compounds that were supposed to be an alternative to be quicker and faster, you just show working that you have started, and maybe it's delayed by a month or two because an ECG pylon. Show. You are not sure. And I tell you that that one is going back to my initial conversation about resource mobilization. Now you are coming back to say that, okay, you are going to go back and try. We've lost 1 year. And people have died. And now you are telling us that it's going to take 10 years to finish these Agenda 111 projects. And I'm saying to you that if they continue with their same approach to revenue, that 10 years may even be longer.
So, well, after this break, we'll find out if the NDC, based on what you're saying, just did this out of spite. Or, I mean, the same way you had...
No, I don't think they did it out of spite. I won't even suggest that they did it out of spite. I think that sometimes what our friends in the NDC do is to get populist with even matters of national interest.
Well, we'll continue the conversation when we come back from this break. You're still watching ABC in the morning here on ABC News GH. We'll be back in a jiffy. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Chino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so cool. Jollof so cool. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE. We have in our studios today the MP for Fonsia UAB, Honorable Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. We're looking at the budget. We'll move away from it very soon. But Honorable Oppong-Nkrumah, the NDC came in with a vision to prosper Ghana, a vision to see us get better and move us from what they say the mismanagement of the economy that your government did. So far, we are seeing what they want for us in the 2026 budget, their plans for us and all. As a minority caucus, as a ranking member on economy and development, how are you as a caucus also coming on board to help the NDC succeed in the grand scheme of things?
I think first it's important that we correct some narratives even before we move forward. If the NDC tells you that we had mismanaged the economy, a mismanaged economy does not deliver 5.7% growth. It is true that cost of living went very high between 2022 and 2024. Because remember that from 2017 to 2020, I think even to 2021, things were going pretty well for many Ghanaians, as we mentioned at the beginning of our conversation. From 2021 midpoint coming down to 2024, we had a very difficult time. That is a matter of fact. And I think that we should be truthful. We on the NPP side should be truthful. The NDC should be truthful. Not to say that the economy was mismanaged. Because an economy that is mismanaged doesn't leave you 11 billion Ghana cedis in buffers. An economy that is mismanaged doesn't leave you 5.7% growth. An economy that is mismanaged doesn't leave you 150 factories, 18 a year. We can go on and on. And this is the kind of thing that when they do, then we end up having a debate over things that, for me, frankly, don't put food on the table. Instead of us drawing lessons from the genuine mistakes or the places where we went wrong, and then going forward, trying to apply those lessons so that even they don't make those mistakes, then Ghana will build on it. We create these narratives and then we spend all our time going there. What we are doing as a minority caucus, and like you said earlier, sometimes people find it hard to believe, is to share the genuine lessons of what we learned in government with our friends on the other side. And to draw their attention to things that if they focus on, they won't repeat the same mistakes that we made. Sometimes when you draw their attention, they think that you are undermining them politically. But that is not the case. We want to see a Ghana which works for all of us. And if we did something that went right, you should be able to admit that this thing that you guys did went right, and so we will build on it. If we did something that went wrong, we should also be able to say, this thing we did, it didn't go right. Don't repeat it. And you should also be able to admit it, that, okay, this is true. It's not that you were criminally minded or you were mismanaging. You tried your best, it didn't go well. We have learned from your mistake. Then Ghana goes up. And I'll give you, for example, one thing. One of our problems has always been our currency, our cedi. The reason for which the cedi depreciates is not because one person is, let's say, criminally minded or the other person is evil. No. It's because demand and supply for the cedi doesn't match. There's usually more demand for dollar than there is supply. We don't print dollar in Ghana. So we get dollar when we export things. And then, as per the laws, the foreign exchange earnings have to be repatriated to the banks in Ghana. That's how Ghana earns dollar. So let us say that we export $50 million worth of goods. That $50 million is supposed to come back into the banks in Ghana. So that next week, when we need another $50 million to go and do further imports, we can go for that $50 million and the price will not change because demand and supply will be the same. Often what happens is that when people export $50 million worth of goods, they don't bring the $50 million back. You find them in the nostro account of the banks. Somebody has bought a building in London, wherever, so it doesn't come back. So next month, when we need another $50 million, we can't find it. So whatever is left, people will outbid themselves and the price will start going up. That's why our currency depreciates. The first thing the MPP did when we came to power was to work and push and ensure that even the volume of export will be higher than the volume of import. That's what we call the balance of trade. So for the first time in Ghana's history, MPP government, we got balance of trade to be positive in a surplus. So we're exporting more than we're importing. The problem, however, was that not all the export proceeds was coming back. So you still had a gap. Especially by 2022, when we got into trouble, and our debt had reached some levels where we were not getting new flows of forex, we were depleting. And because we were depleting, our currency now started depreciating pretty low. So in 2021, Dr. Baumia, who was vice president at the time, came to cabinet with a proposal that we should approve and ask the Bank of Ghana to start what we call a gold purchase program, where we use cedis, we buy gold, we put the gold at the Bank of Ghana, and that gold is now converted into dollars. And we will now start earning dollars, though we haven't really exported anything. And in fact, if we want, we can now sell a bit of that gold and then get dollars for it. So that was through the PMMC and the Bank of Ghana. At the time we started, gold price was about $1,700 an ounce. We won't get much from it, but at least we're building our gold reserves. So gold reserves moved from 8 tons. By the time we were leaving power, it was 30 tons. From independence to that time, it was 8 tons. By the time we were leaving power, because of this program, it was now 30 tons. This is a good thing.
Okay.
The NDC, if you just indulge me just a few minutes, the NDC came to power, saw the PMMC and said, okay, let's change the name to Gold Board. Let's pass a law around it. Now nobody can even export. It's only Gold Board that can export. At the same time, gold prices have now shot up because of the uncertainties around the world to about $4,000 an ounce. So all of a sudden, we're getting a lot more forex. That forex is supposed to be used in building buffers and months of import cover so that when there's a shock, we don't go back to square one. The NDC has decided that they will pump the dollars onto the market to bring the rates down. Initially, when we said it, they said we were lying. It wasn't true. The president said it was good leadership. The governor said there was no pumping. We kept drawing their attention. IMF saw it, told them stop and put in place a framework. When they stopped it, the thing started depreciating again, which means the real problem hasn't been solved. I'm coming to answer your question. Then when they put in place the framework, October, they injected about 1 billion. November, another 1 billion. That's 2 billion. But by the way, our calculations show that they've done about 8 billion so far. So it's the pumping that is showing us up. What a serious government will do is to say, first of all, the truth is that it's the pumping, and that the fundamental problems have not been solved. And the pumping, we are able to get the gold to pump because the MPP guys left the gold purchase program. But we're going to take advantage of this opportunity and now deal with the de-dollarization. You see the people who sell dollars around airports, all those people create artificial demand for dollar. There are so many serious things you have to do. Now, if the government doesn't, so we as a minority will draw your attention that, Charlie, what you are doing, you are pumping. We understand, then it's good. It has come down, everybody's happy. But don't be too happy. Don't be dancing in the chamber. Take advantage of this and let's fix the real problems. When we say this, it's coming from a good place. I tell you no lie.
Okay.
If they will pay attention to it and do it, we will all be better off. But you see, how they see it is that, oh, you people have lost power, keep quiet, you are jealous. I'm afraid that we'll do this thing and then we'll come back to square one. And the opportunity that we have as a republic to build on what we are doing, you know, this one has done, let me build on it, we would have lost that opportunity. So all we are saying is, listen, what the political class have to do, we have to do away with a lot of these unnecessary debates and rather give credit where credit is due. You heard me, I don't know if you've heard me, crediting the finance minister that the commitment controls that he's introduced is a good thing. I support it. He has done well on that one. Why can't they credit the MPP when the MPP has done something that they are also going to build on? That's how you build a country. Okay. But if we're going to spend all our time doing, oh, it's not true, you are criminally minded, you mismanage the economy, we'll run around in circles like that. And the people of Ghana, the youth, are the ones who struggle.
When it comes to crediting each other, now I come to your party, the NPP. Your party seems to be a party that is really being beaten by a lot of storms.
True.
At this point. And you've decided to align with one part of it. There are some people who say that come 31st January 2026, give me the mandate, let me lead the party, I will bring you power. You've decided to align with somebody who was sent to the fore of the war or of the battle and could not stand it. Someone else emerged victorious. Why not pitch your camp elsewhere?
First of all, we didn't lose because of Dr. Bawumia. We lost because as a collective, as a party that was in government, we did many things that a lot of people were not happy with. We've just spoken about the economy. The way we responded to the economic crisis, many people were not happy with how it ended. There were several things that we had committed to do. We didn't handle them well. There were ways in which party people behaved that angered a lot of people, and they said they won't vote. Sometimes when we're having elections, I watch your station. We're having primaries. Party person goes to vote. He gets given money by somebody. He comes to stand on TV. This one give me that. This one give me that. It just annoys everybody. And you see people say, that had nothing to do with the candidate. So we lost not because of Bawumia. Bawumia is a very strong candidate. He's the most qualified person to be president of the Republic of Ghana on our side. He's a very deep thinker, lots of good ideas. He has great character, and that is why we support him. So our loss is not because of him. We've done deep research, some of which has been published. It has nothing to do with him.
But there are people in your party who believe that you guys are shielding Dr. Bawumia too much. You're weathering the storm. Dr. Bawumia is at the back, and it looks like he's the golden child.
He's not. Bawumia has come to the table and has admitted where he also thinks that we went wrong and what we need to do. He's even apologized on some of those ones. We have to take collective responsibility. But I'm saying that when it comes to the choice, it's not about Bawumia. Those who are making those narratives and allegations are people who want to become flag bearer of the party. And what they want to do is to say bad things about him so that people lose faith in him and go. We have seen this thing before. So that is really not the problem. The real problem is that we as a party need to reorganize ourselves. We have to get better at uniting. We have to get better at policy development within the party. Not that one person gets up and he feels this way, so he's announcing it, but there's a more concerted effort in organizing and announcing policy. We have to build better monitoring and evaluating mechanisms for our own programs that we introduce. Those are the hard things we need to do as a party. So it's not about Bawumia. When it comes to the choice, we are of the view that Bawumia is the best choice for us. And that is why many of us are supporting him.
But he's the one who's going to be on the ticket. If he wins, at this point, you are putting you have put your eggs in the Bawumia basket.
As many have also put their eggs in other baskets. It's okay. It's a democracy in which we are. I have a view, other people have views. We'll go for the election on the 31st. Whoever wins, we'll all come together. We should all come together and support him. I am of the view that this is the best person for us. And I'm canvassing votes for him. Others believe that somebody else. They're also canvassing votes. That's not it. Dixon came here. He believes that Brian Champon is the right person. He's canvassing votes for him. I'm canvassing votes for my candidate. When we finish, we'll get together and then we'll move forward. But the real hard work is in rebuilding the NPP, the structures of the party, the policy depth, monitoring and evaluation mechanisms, how we organize ourselves to be attractive to young people, how we organize ourselves to be attractive to our grassroots. Those are the real hard things we need to do, not religious and ethnic bigotry against Bawumia or something.
I reference Global Info Analytics in some of the polling they've done and their report, and they talk about how, within the party, Dr. Bawumia still has a certain vibe that people still...
The majority of people in the party
they still buy into. Yes. But beyond the NPP, outside of the party, Dr. Bawumia isn't looking formidable. It's also the argument that
I don't think
some
that's
of
what
your opponents...
That is a rub-off of how the NPP as a brand is seen in Ghana today. In Ghana today, the NPP is not the most popular political party. Whoever is, leading the NPP today in Ghana, if you cast the bigger Ghanaian picture, because of how the NPP in our last, let's say, 4 years came across, because of how elements in the NPP today are busy attacking each other, the NPP is not the most attractive political force there. So those are the things we have to deal with, so that when we pick our candidate, those things that undermine what our brand looks like, those things will be taken off.
Isn't a candidate synonymous to the party? At this point, when you talk about NDC, everybody knows John Dramani Mahama.
But this is the interesting thing. So John Dramani Mahama is not going to be on the ticket for 2025.
No,
so what the NDC needs to do is to ensure, and not just the NDC, all political parties need to do is to ensure that the party itself is cleaned up, has clarity of its ideas, has clarity of its proposals, distinct even from the persons who are leading it. If parties focus on doing that, it becomes very easy for people to make a choice. In the UK and in other places, people make a choice that I'm a supporter of the Conservative Party, not because of Kemi Badenoch or Rishi Sunak, but because I believe in conservative ideas and their policies that they bring. I am a member of the Labour Party, not necessarily because of Keir Starmer or, Tony Blair, but because I believe in the Labour orientation and the policies they bring. And I'm saying to you that that is where we are going with our party.
Okay. We've asked questions on ABC in the morning where I've spoken to some of your party communicators and leaders, and there's a concern that the NPP as a party has a system candidate. That system candidate is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So which one is the system today?
The NPP system, your system.
What system is that? I thought they meant that when we were in power, the system of power was supporting a particular candidate.
No, at this point...
We're not in power. They used to make that argument that, people were whipped in line. Me, nobody can whip me in line to support. If I don't support you, nobody can whip me in line to support you.
So let's say...
All of us, with the greatest of respect, have brains. We've looked at the candidates, and people have made their choices. If the majority of the candidates are not supporting, or if the majority of people are not supporting your candidate, please don't come and tell us that it's because this one is a system candidate.
So you believe that you've pitched your tent at the right place?
I know I have pitched my tent at the right place. I'm clear in my mind as I have compared all the candidates. I know them, I've worked with them. I know all of them. They are all party people. They all mean well for the party. I have looked at them, I've worked with them, and I'm clear in my mind that the one who is our best bet to lead this party is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
If the best bet isn't chosen...
The bigger task even after the 31st of January. The thing doesn't end with who is selected as candidate. That's the least issue. The real work the MPP has to do is in rebuilding the party. Go to the campuses and ask, we did a poll quite recently, ask how many students here are TESCON members. You will be shocked at the numbers. The real job of the MPP is how to rebuild the party to be attractive, for example, on the campuses. The party to be attractive in the places that matter. The party to win the hearts and minds of people, for people to believe that this party clearly thinks through its policies and programs. When they have an opportunity, they apply it in a way that even when they are matters, they're able to deal with it. Kemi Badenoch was just saying, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that when they lost power, it's taken them about a year to prepare their new policies. 1 year to go back into the drawing board, figure out where they want. That is a party. This is the real work we have to do. It's not about Bawumia and Kennedy and Brian and those ones.
You want
that one, the choice is simple. Everybody will make his choice. On 31st, we'll decide. One of them will win. I'm clear in my mind that the person supported by the majority is Dr. Bawumia. But I'm saying to you, Abena, with the greatest of respect, that the real task we have is beyond the 31st. How to rebuild our party, to make it a strong, attractive, formidable, attractive party to various key stakeholder groups so that the party can win power.
Finally, on Dr. Bawumia,
and govern to the satisfaction of people.
Finally, on your primaries, I know you are very active on social media. You see the jabs, you see the bullets that you're shooting at each other in this race. Do you think your party will be able to come together?
We should tone down on that. I mean, I've been on record over and over again that all of those people getting on social media and on campaign platforms and attacking each other is totally unhelpful to the party. You can campaign by talking about the strengths of your candidate and what he can do, but any campaign that seeks to undermine any other candidate or attack any other candidate ends up undermining the collective party brand. And it is not helpful in any way to the party cause. And so let me take advantage of your platform to admonish our party supporters, supporters of various candidates and the candidates themselves to conduct their campaigns decently, focus on the kind of reforms and things that you can do, and stop the unnecessary attacks, because it hurts the party more than it benefits you. in the long run. And we need to conduct ourselves in a way that by the time we are done, it's easy for us to work together.
Honorable Oponkroma, this is your third term in Parliament. Already your name has been in conversations about one day leading the NPP. Do you want to lead the NPP one day?
I do my work based on a task I'm given at a point in time, and I do my best at it. When I finished school, I had never thought about being a journalist like you're doing now. I was given a job at Joy FM to be host of Joy FM's breakfast show. I gave it my best shot. I did it to the best of my ability till I got to a point where I thought I needed to move on to pursue my personal interests, which was law and business. While I was doing it, I was invited to come and serve as Member of Parliament. I struggled with the decision. I took the decision, made myself available. This is my third term. I've been doing my best both in my constituency and in Parliament. There have been times when I've been asked to come and serve as Vice Chairman of the party's Manifesto Committee. I'll do my best at it. I've now been asked to serve as Ranking Member of the Committee on Economy. That's why you invited me here. I'll do my best at it. So I'm not one who walks around with ambition that I want to lead this, I want to do that. No. I take a job I'm given, I do my best at it. So no, I don't walk around with that ambition.
Well, let me take you back to when you were called by your own constituency to lead the constituency. You talk, and I've heard you talk about it a number of times, how it was a burden on you, you had to think about it. In any case, your people call on you, say in 8 years' time, in 12 years' time, they come to you, Kojo, we want you to lead the NPP. I mean, what will be the decision? I'm sure by now
you're asking me to be a clairvoyant. Don't get moved by the praises of men and by the fans of people. You need to do a good job asking yourself whether you have the appetite, whether it is God's calling for your life. When I was on radio, if you ask me that, can you forecast whether you will say yes if you are asked to become an MP? I would not be able to do that. In the same way, I cannot forecast what my response to anything will be in the future is. Today I have a job. I do it to the best of my ability. What God wills for man is what will happen at the end of the day.
So you don't have a midterm plan. You don't have a long-term plan.
My core plan in my life has always been to do my law and my business, which is what I've been doing. There are things that people call you up to do at points in time. You ask yourself questions. You go deep. You commune with the Spirit. You get advice, and if it is something that you are sensed to believe you can do, or then take it up. As I sit here, I can't make any such predictions.
Honorable Oponkroma, we wish you the very best in your endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, MP for the good people of Afuansi Ayrebi and Ranking Member on the Economy and Development Committee in Parliament. He sat with us today for a one-on-one, and thank you so much for also joining us for this conversation. After this break, we will be back with more. Stay with us.
Rent back with the Pia Upacha. Come on, come see you. Wait, Jessica. My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, wono ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh, yes. So, what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no aben.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your administrative matters with expert insight from our renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. Then we'll connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
For staying with us. You're still watching ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE. It's time to hear your voice, and it's your voice that matters on Ghana Speaks. You are the one we want to hear. Tell us what you have to say. Today we brought you Community Watch. You saw what's happening in Dakuman with regards to their roads and their street lights. Share your thoughts on that. We've had a one-on-one with the MP for Fonsia Iribi and ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee in Parliament, Honorable Kojo Oponkroma. Share your thoughts with us on that conversation we had with him. There is insecurity in Nigeria at this point. As persons who live with Nigerians as brothers and sisters, when it touches Nigeria, it touches. How are we looking at this matter? Share your thoughts with us and let's hear you. 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. We would love so much to hear from you. Share your thoughts with us on all of the conversations we've been having today. 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. Call us and share your thoughts with us. You've heard what the minority has to say about the budget that was read, the 2026 budget. Honorable Oponkroma says that if the majority would listen to the minority with regards to some of the mistakes they made whilst they were in government, this government can do better. Share your thoughts with us. What do you make of the conversations? 053-916-1609. If there's anything happening in your constituency, call us and let us know. And then your municipality, your area, your constituency may be the one we visit the next time for Community Watch. Share your thoughts with us. 053-916-1609. 053-916-1609. On Facebook, Quarantine Okeniba Ebenezer says it's a delight to watch and listen to the address Honorable Kojo Oponkroma speak on finance. That is what Okaniba Quarantine Ebenezer has to say on Honorable Kojo Oponkroma. Share your thoughts with us. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's hear you. Would love to hear what you have to say. 053-916-1609. It's your voice that matters, and your voice alone would love to hear. Your voice that matters, and your voice alone would love to hear you. Share your thoughts with us. This is still ABC in the Morning live on ABC News GH with me, ABENA MANTE. Share your thoughts with us. Would love to hear you. What happened in Dakoman when we visited Dakoman, looking at the state of their roads, the state of their traffic lights, of their street lights. Jessica Ampem went to Dakoman. Let's bring you what happened there.
Complaining bitterly about the deplorable state of roads and faulty street lights in this area. They are complaining that not just is their vehicles being affected, but also there are lots of lives that are usually occurred here on this stretch.
The Kaneshie-Odoko Highway remains one of Accra's busiest corridors. Yet for years, the outer lane has become a nightmare for commuters. Deep potholes, eroded road edges, and faulty street lights have turned the stretch into a daily safety hazard, where some vehicles even get stuck trying to navigate the damaged lane.
Since I'm so potholes on a boy, oh no, who's in the Abramity road wet. So, Nina, a car, a boying, because what Kotaka said, who's the age map, one Diane. Last show, no, who know Nam shop. Well, Nina Brownie, a buyer form of economy, no, because Sika may use, no, I know my somebody yelling. It is a question of workshop. Abra Nam Kwanti, Yabe Yakeke. Oh, fans of police was a man foul. So, because Obiano Pekon phone, no one nantiso. Say a good counsel that I say a shiny city, but young goose that I need the access of one with the young goose. Let the young goose know. One number to yasin, the young goose. Oh, bomb no way, macho. Wow, the can of the numno to be sure when no macho.
When you're in a burn, Cocompe burn, baying cry. As an eye, we have a quany, a fear. Oh, shots or no fear, can be fair. If they, oh, my government be an or government there, I will be an ameba. Now I can't say bow.
Yakwana Yamasuna, ye manhole. A soon a seti owu if you diamond. In fact, a drana would nam quano swa, who pow. It's yes, sir. A ban or tesuno, yes, Reno. Only enemy say a cassorti. Ombo de on ye bibi and for my ever quano.
Why shall Kaya Ebe? Shakaya Ebe. A quanin yet, where will car Nisuka class sompono, a bet me, a born bet me, Emma, a sell car.
And the way says one tobo and for can and far they are saying one. Who find inside no could do and police at you. Et me create traffic bebre.
And Robin, no man, me front beam, ebu ye. Insu Sakwani ya, inka bibia tisa emba, inti ya sre aban, amfane nansi fom. Nombwaye, neti me mufunu yansu ya mwano.
Thrown into complete darkness due to non-functioning street lights. A worker at a vehicle dealership along the highway recounted an incident where a car on display was stolen under the cover of darkness.
Street light ni na fiti Malam Junction atu kaneshi ba kokura nye adwuma. Enchaye ena mbewia me boss ne car ba ko Dansoma Junction. New car o mo bewia kromfo na mbewia ye. Yami adom street cameras no ena ye tracing ye konya car no. Enti ya besre aban no onye street light no me edu anadwo a wonam kwanos na enye easy ebitumi cross o da akoma junction che na car bo bi Dansoma Junction che na car bo bi street light na enye adwuma nti ama okita car wo bre ewo from Malam Junction straight to Kaneshi.
Shane street light no onye. Street light no onye. Sisa all the Accra no traffic light ni asese. Nso obi wo ha oji wiska odi. Yesre impanyinfo na omudi enim no. Omunye bibi ama ya timemfo no so yanso ya wontan ye.
Bi se mitoka system million. Car na nya 1 week me konya accident because of light off. Me na me katira me say car no poto. Say car na me say ni pa no cross me out and traffic o wa. Nka say me na me gina. Ohu say no su gina nko be gina. Me nya man fa car na nya adwuma 1 week home use say car no. Na wo sha na me bobra na me ye me bosan.
Residents and frequent road users attribute the recurring road damage largely to poor drainage. Drains along the route remain chronically choked, causing heavy flooding anytime it rains, especially around the Hansonic Junction, further weakening the road surface. Despite constant complaints dating back as far as 2020, motorists say little has been done by the Urban Roads Department or the Ghana Highway Authority. Temporary patchworks often wash away after the next rainfall, leaving the road in its original deplorable